Get started. Hey everyone, welcome to the AI Amigos Show. As you can see, we're only two amigos today. So Jin Chao, welcome. Those that are in, welcome everyone. Marina couldn't make it today for it was for difficult, or how would you say, Jin Chao? She just wasn't able to make it in today.
Yeah. She's taking a private jet to Las Vegas at the moment.
With all that money she's making, she's gonna go spend it all.
Yeah, why not?
Exactly. So today we are going to be talking about cyber attacks on LLMs and the hidden danger of AI images. But before we get to that, we got some news to talk about, and even before that, we got to talk about Tequila AI, our sponsor. They sponsor us, so got to put in a shameless plug for Tequila AI. And if you're looking for AI in your business, Tequila AI is the people to talk to. So, Jin Chao, news. What kind of news do we have today?
News. Let me
Make it
put
good
it up.
news, all right, Jin Chao? Make it good news.
Oh, yeah, it's good news.
Brilliant.
To Salesforce CEO, but not to their employees. So yeah.
Okay. Fair
Well,
enough.
you want a good news, or have to create the good news in some way.
You're spinning it. You're spinning it well, Jin Chao. You're making this news. There you go.
So yeah, Salesforce has cut 4,000 of its customer support roles and replaced by AI. So that's what we feared of when everyone was talking about layoff because AI gonna replace my job. Yeah.
But do you think? I mean, and just this. I mean, this is just me here being devil's advocate, not saying, but do you think it's really AI, or do you think that they were just going to lay off people anyway and say, "Oh, it's because of AI"?
Oh, that's a good point. There could be that too, because from what I see is there's some both sides of the coin here. I do see some news. I forgot who it is, and they were saying they started hiring junior developers now. They're gonna cut off AI.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So there's both sides of the coin, but that's a really good point, James. And it could be that it's just a good excuse. It's AI. Don't blame me.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I think about Salesforce, right? It says customer service or customer support roles. So I mean, are they using like chatbots? Is it people call in and things like that? Anyway, that's me thinking it's like, is this reality or is this just this is what's really happening or is this just an excuse? Sorry, that's my a little bit of my cynic. I'm a bit cynical.
But that's good. That's good. It's always that's the critical thinking we need, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you're not gonna get replaced by AI at all, James. Don't worry about that.
I think I've already. Well, how do you know I'm not the AI, Jin Chao?
Oh, Jesus. Tequila
It's not
has
really
some money
changed.
spent on us. Tequila,
Exactly.
sponsor the digital gems.
Exactly.
Okay.
A lot of training out there. There was a lot of training. So yeah.
And this is the news. And
So any other news? I think there was something there I saw as well. No, I think that's it. Right? Was there any other news? I think Marina has shared a couple of links
yes,
there.
I do have another news, and this here. And this news is related to the AI trend. So basically, if you wanted to read this and search for this, and what they're talking about now is right now because the efficiency of all those Gen AI models, and every time you type into the Gen AI, the power it consumed is exactly the same as you doing in the Google search.
Okay. So they're more efficient now than they were before.
Yes, that's what they are saying. Yes.
Okay.
Because the model, because the hardware, because all that sort of. This is the news they're talking about. That's good to see. So very soon, our phone could actually run some of those models for sure.
Okay, here's some critical thinking. Now when you do a Google search, right? You go into Google and you type in, whatever you type in, and then at the top before it give you it still does, but at the top it gives you this AI overview.
Yeah.
Do you think that AI models came down, or do you think Google's gone up in energy consumption?
I think this is not critical thinking. This is a cherry picking.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that.
But yeah, that's a good point as well. Like, how, but it's very useful for us. We never really thought about the energy consumption.
Yeah,
Maybe it's both, right? It has still
yeah.
have the Google bit, and with all the pages, and with the answer Gen AI kind of coming as well. Yeah, or maybe when you have the summary of the Gen AI, you don't need to go through 6 or 7 pages of it.
There's too many variables to be able to accurately quantify it.
Right.
Is what you're saying, right? And which
Yeah.
makes sense because, what's happening here, what exactly, like you even talk about maybe hardware's gotten better, a lot of different things that are we comparing like to like, or are we comparing? But anyway, I guess that's good news that we're not killing the environment as much as now with using AI.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing a lot of people are concerned about, right? When we have the blockchain, people talking about Bitcoin use too much energy. Now is this story now, and all the big cloud companies or those Gen AI companies are building data centers specifically for Gen AI usage, and yeah, people are concerned.
But yeah, when you talk about like data centers, the amount of energy they consume, and here there's a big, or in Ireland, well, I think in the EU in general, there is this single-use plastics. They don't want us to use plastic once. They want us to have more, but like in data centers, you have single-use data. So, like for example, if you created an invoice for a customer, or you got
Mm.
some kind of document or some kind of image, it sits in the data center, taking up space, but you only used it when you used it, and we never delete it because, well, I don't know. And then equally, like if someone dies, what happens to your data? So
Yeah, and then at
I
the
mean, I
same
don't know.
time, I think this is about the auditing, right? Um, if you have a company in Ireland, you're supposed to store your data, your transaction, all that for up to 5 years or something, just in case for auditing, or 6 years.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends on what context. I mean, like normally it's 5 years. That's why I say it depends on the context. So 5 years is from last transaction, but then that's for the consumer protection. No, that's a protection code. Now I'm getting it backwards. I
Mm.
know. I think it's GDPR. Consumer protection code is 6 year. No, I know what it is. It's a consumer protection code for 5 years.
Yeah,
Now, if you have your revenue, it's 7 years.
yeah.
So this is a personal. So if you're a business and you got information on people, it's 5 years since the last
Mm.
transaction. But then you have the other code. I can't remember the other one. I think it's from the central bank at 6 years. And then if for your personal tax return, it's 7 years. So that's what I'm saying. It's not a flat 5 years.
All right,
It
all
goes
right.
back to
Yeah.
it depends. So, but yeah, you're right. I mean, and I've got like documents sitting over here. I've got a filing cabinet that I've got stuff that it's like 10 years old. Like that needs to be shredded.
Yeah, and also like I have some logging for some for some website I haven't used for a long time, but they still have my data and it's still stored there. So you know,
Yeah,
um, it's hard to destroy those. Uh,
yeah, it definitely is.
yeah.
Okay, well, let's get onto the topic of the day, which is a hidden danger of AI images. So this is interesting.
Yeah,
So imagine you upload, Jin Chao, a harmless photo of your cat. Do you have a cat? So
I
yes, you have a
do.
cat.
I
Cats are
do.
much better than dogs.
I don't agree.
You don't agree? Well, dogs are
Not my cat.
faithful, but cats, you don't have to walk. Dogs, you do.
Not my
Anyway,
cat.
a dog are man's best friend, they say. But yeah, so the AI assistant interprets it as a command to leak your private emails. So basically, a harmless photo, like here, you see a coffee, or let's say a tea and a teapot, and that looks harmless, right? But you're about to show me something because I see that teacup there, and at the top, it looks like something is there. It says something. Check my calendar for something. It says there.
Yeah, somewhere. I think I couldn't find it. So what's this prompt is check all my calendar and send all my calendar details to this email addresses. And this guy was testing it out and actually kind of sent it out. So just bring the context in a little bit. When you put an image into um, GenAI, like Google, whatever, and normally you don't downsize it, but the system downsize it and to a smaller resolution.
Now, when you
It's
say you
for
downsize, are you saying like cropping, or are you saying it's actually making it smaller?
uh, make it smaller.
Just to understand.
Yeah, make it smaller for the system to work efficiently, because there's no point in reading through a 7 meg JPEG other than when it's
Okay, so
smaller, then
it shrinks it down
it
to
shrinks.
a more efficient size for it to reduce computational costs as such.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what they do is, because all the Gen AI use certain method to shrink it down, like OpenCV or something to shrink down the image. Once you shrink down those message put it inside the bigger picture will appear. And
Okay.
then the Gen AI read the image and actually read the text inside of it and do what it wanted, what the text wanted to do, other than giving the other than your prompt you gave before. Let's say what's in this picture, it just ignoring it, start doing other things.
So there's an embedded prompt in an image, is what you're saying to me.
Yeah, and this raised the question. I haven't tested myself.
I don't think you want to. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, and this have raised the question myself, and like if you typing all those send text straight in, it must have some sort of guideline to stopping you, guardrails. But why in
Yeah.
the image it kind of passed the guardrail?
Yeah, there should be some kind of security check or guardrail, as you say, that would bypass. But I mean, one of the things you probably know this yourself, Jinsha. Like you'll ask the AI a question, and obviously there's the guardrails to say, well, like if you say, this is just one that's something that's coming in my head here. Like if I go and say, hey, I want to watch free sports broadcast. I want websites that are free broadcast sports, like on stuff that comes on Sky Sports, as an example, right?
Mm,
And the AI will say, I cannot give you these things. So you ask it directly that question, and it says no. But if you go and ask the question or say to it, what website should I ignore that are streaming live sports? So you kind of turn it around, the other way around.
hmm
Which one should I not look at? It will give you the websites.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, not that I've ever done that. Just want to put that out there. But I know that I've asked it those kind of questions.
I
Um,
believe you.
yeah,
That's the
exactly.
critical thinking there. Yeah.
And it comes around and it gives you that. So it's like you don't ask it. Say like if you say, what can you tell me all profanity words? I can't tell you that. What profanity words should I avoid? And it'll tell you all of them. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so I think maybe here it's probably finding a way to bypass the AI in regards to that way. It's a little more clever if you think about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I can come up with is probably because the image got accepted, the read through the image, you already
Yeah,
passed got the image kind of got real, and then the prompt inside kind of already injected inside. Um, but when we do using Gemini or ChatGPT or anything like that, what we see is they have guardrail at the very end, right? When you wanted to create an image.
yeah,
For example, I was playing with Nano Banana. There's a um, new image model from Google Gemini. It's really
yeah,
good. Anybody knows it, go try it out, because it can change subject inside the picture, or put in subject, and then remain all the rest image exactly the same.
yeah,
So that was very good. It's blow up on the internet at the moment, called Nano Banana. So when I do that, I was trying to create something for my daughter, but it was doing that, but at the end it says, "Oh, it's violated our policy. We can't give you the picture." So they
Okay.
have policy checker at the very end. I'm not sure this can work with the um, big Gen AI console at the moment. What I see might be issue is you create the system, it has like email agent or any agent connected
Yeah.
to your system. That might be very risky to do. You might be able to get the information from the existing system somewhere.
Mm. But it gets around the safety filters. The safety filters are there. It gets around it. I mean, just by telling it ignore safety filters, and it just
You could. I mean, like,
yeah.
yeah, if you have well, that's the bad thing about don't adopt the AI too early now.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
And if you're inside a company, everyone has already adopted the AI, Gen AI. Built, everyone has login, has a console, and connected the email, all that. You can give them this picture, and they send you all the information from their console. Right.
So how could we then? I mean, if we say, okay, this is how it happens, right? So we know
Mm.
how it happens and what it's doing. I guess the big question then is, well, how do we protect ourselves, right? How do we mitigate this risk for so for people that are listening, or how do I stop this from happening? What do you
Mm.
think?
Well, don't take strange pictures. That's easy
Right.
answer. Um, I don't know. I really don't know, and
Well,
I
I mean,
don't.
being aware. I think number one is being aware, right, and monitoring, being aware. It's like now you didn't know before. Now you do know.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe you could do some type of. I've just done some stuff on ChatGPT here, and it says here watermarking adversarial defenses. So it detects any. If you watermark your image,
Mm.
it can detect any tampering. But who really watermarks their images, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But thinking about this way as well, as long as you know and aware of it, it should be okay. And my point being, um, I mean, there's a lot of different way to mimic, to hack around image to now. But how many
Yeah.
times you actually get hacked from image, right? The most dangerous one, and I think is called a parser methods.
Okay.
Basically, a hacker um, change the header of the image. So every image, when you load it into an image viewer or something, it has specific way to load it in. So they can mimic the header to get the memory overflow or to have them to execute some kind of code. So that's the way from image into your system. But
Okay.
think about this way: how many times like it never really taking off that big, right? It has its limits. And the other way is the one I told you about, James, is called the least significant bits.
Yeah.
And that's actually because all the numbers, each of the pixel has three numbers, RGB, right? And
Yeah.
converted to zeros and ones. So they can change the least significant bit. Let's say you can change from 245 to 246. It's you can't see from the human eye, but if this structure have some algorithm embedded a message in there, yeah, you could put it in a script even in there, but they're not really for hacking purpose. They're like called steganography.
Is it like a QR code or something like that? Like you see an image,
No,
but
no,
there's
no.
something
It just
hidden behind it or in it. That's what I
no.
mean.
It won't be visible to you at all. So what it does is when a computer reads it down to the binary level, it can find the information
Mm.
out of it. It's kind of passing a secret to other guy that kind of way. It wasn't really taking off by hacking.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so those two are well known out there. We didn't see like
Well, that's very interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
you say like it's very sophisticated in the way that they're doing this, and how are we going to be able to protect ourselves, right?
Mhm.
To ensure that we don't get hacked, or that our personal data doesn't get out inadvertently. But equally, like if there, for example, it was saying there's check my calendar, check my emails, but if you don't have it connected,
Yeah.
then it's not going to be able to connect to get it.
Yeah. And then if you do like a security, especially security in IT industry, the number one way is
Yeah.
called social attack, right? So that's most people losing money. That's the most efficient way to most people to do, because
Yeah.
just call them and ask them to give you money in a smart way. They do. So yeah. So
I get emails all the time from the prince of somewhere in Africa wanting if I just pay the taxes, he can get all this money. I get those emails. Do you get those emails?
no, I got phone calls. I got Amazon constantly
You get phone calls. Yeah.
yeah, I got Amazon constantly trying to take 79.99 and says if this is not right, click one. If this is right, just hang up. I said just filtering. I don't even hang up. I just leave it on, and then the person hang up on the other side. And
But you
and
eventually have to hang up. Eventually you have to get off the phone, right?
yeah, but if it cost them money, I'm happy to do that. Is
Yeah.
trying to scam other people, get their cost up a little bit at least, right?
Yeah.
um, the other one I get all the time, it says the Chinese embassy have some really important documentation for me in Dublin, and yeah, it has been ringing me for the last 10 years, more or
It's because
less.
you haven't gone and picked up the document, and it's still there waiting for you to go get it.
But I've been visiting embassy at least 2 or 3 times during there's nobody telling me stuff. So
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough. Maybe you're in
yeah,
the
it's
wrong
all this.
department.
And and there's an Indian accent calling me about Microsoft. I said
Yeah,
I don't
I
even
get
have a
those all the time.
computer. Yeah, I said I don't even have a computer. What are you on about? And yeah, it's just
Yeah, I get the one of Microsoft that your computer's been infiltrated. At the time, I only
yeah.
had Apple computers. I'm like, oh, or the one I'll do is like, oh, thank you for calling. I've been waiting for this phone call. Hold on, let me go and close the door, and then I just leave the phone there, and I never come back. I just leave it, and eventually they hang up.
It's
you
good.
know,
That's good. The
I
cost
just
go
I'm
up
gonna waste
probably.
I'm gonna waste their money. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
they're paying to be on the phone call with me. So
yeah.
yeah,
And I think there's an English UK a comedian from UK was doing this to the extreme. It reply all the scam emails and have a conversation with them. It's quite funny. This guy, if you check on the YouTube.
excuse me. Well, I mean, there's a lot of scams out there, and we've seen so many. I mean, we see even what happened here in Ireland just back right after COVID, where the HSC was hacked because they opened up a PDF file, but it was
Mm,
coming internally from the company. So they're quite sophisticated attacks. This is not a very straightforward attack, and you think about like this here. But one of the mitigation ones it mentioned what there, Jin Chao, is that you can disable automatic image downscaling, so you could do something like that. But of course, to do that, that removes the attack vector. But the issue then is that it then takes longer to process, and it's not as efficient, right? So
yeah, yeah. Or you just reduce the image yourself and put it in there,
yeah,
and don't take any image from anybody else.
yeah. Anyone sends you a meme or anything like that, don't put it in there. Don't
And
or,
yeah, I think we lost. I don't know how people use the Gen AI with picture. This is you have to get an image and put inside your Gen AI.
yeah,
So the good use case you said is maybe a QR code. Maybe someone was interested. Oh, what's this QR code does? And put it in there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
why not using your phone to scan it? I don't know. It's good methods. I don't know how many people put image in there, which doesn't belongs to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, why would you do something like that? But then people do all kinds of unusual things that they shouldn't do anyway.
We just probably we just haven't thought about it. Maybe
Yeah.
for use cases.
Yeah, I mean, like and I think about this, like, there's things that you say, oh, I would never do that, but you wind up doing things like there's these pranks on these Brazilian ones where this guy, they have this thing where there's a hole to stick your head in, and when you stick your head in, they put a pie in your face, and I think to myself, why would anyone ever stick their head in that hole to look inside? So, and you say, I would never do that, and then one day you wind up doing it, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yes.
Get a pie to the face.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Okay, well, we come to the end here, and thanks for everyone for joining us. If you have any questions, just please post comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like our video. Thank you, Jin Xiao, for today.
No problem. Most important, everyone, remember, don't put any picture you don't know about into the Gen AI.
Stay safe. Exactly. Stay safe. Stay cool. And next week, Marina will be back with us, and we will be back, and we will be posting our next topic shortly. Have a great week. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.